Hey guys, my name is Gamer and today I'm back with another video, and today I'm back with part 5 of my My Team career mode here for F1 2020, and so far so good in the season. We've already done 4 races and we've got 3-point finishes, so that is fantastic, especially as we started out as one of the worst teams on the grid, without any upgrades anyway, and we're a brand new team as well, so that is absolutely fantastic. That is amazing news. But yeah, first few races, absolutely bossed it, done absolute bits. We've even managed to get enough rep and acclaim to be able to get ourselves a second sponsor on the car. We've currently got Atlantic and Shark, I'm pretty sure we have. So yeah, we're trying to go and see if we can get any other cars, any other sponsors, and we get DBS or DSB Optics as our second sponsor. So that is fantastic news. That's going to bring in some more income as we go through the season and go through races every weekend. We should be able to hit our target. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 constructors points or so. I don't actually know what it was, but I'm just guessing. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to bring in some more money to the team, upgrade our facilities, and then be able to absolutely dominate the grid. But yeah, we get a little bit of an achievement there. Filled every sponsorship slot with a sponsor. But yeah, new engine part for practice, because that is getting very,
Well, it's great
very
to be
warm.
back at your
Now
headquarters,
we have
and
a little,
I've got to say, an awful lot's
little interview
changed
with
since
Will
we were
Buxton.
last here. Let's dive in with some questions. What are your predictions for your team going into this season?
What are your predictions for the team going into this season? We should aim for a solid midfield team. I'm hoping for plenty of...
Will your team be going for the Constructors'
action and
Championship
stuff.
this
Will
season,
your team
or
be
just
going
for
for the
points?
Constructors' Championship this season, or for points? Wow, are we going to get a Constructors' Championship? We're still developing as a team, which we are.
Would it be
We're still
safe to say
developing,
that in
and
terms of
there's
team
no chance of a
orders,
Constructors'
your
Championship
career
in the first
comes
season
first
of a team
in
being a
your
thing?
team?
Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career definitely comes first in your team? No, not really. We don't have team orders at all, really.
Your team's been picking up
so
points
that's
fairly
good.
consistently.
Your team's been picking up
Do you
some
think you'll be able to
points
become a challenge to
fairly
the top
consistently.
teams in
Do
the
you think you'll be
future?
able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future? We wouldn't be in the sport if we weren't planning on winning, and that would have been one of the options I would have gone for. And
Your second driver seems to
would
be
have
getting
been better.
much more
We did
comfortable
actually,
with
the
their
answer
car.
we did give, I don't
Have you
actually know
been
what it was. I
focusing on
wasn't
their
reading
development?
or concentrating, but it gave us a little sponsorship bonus, which is fantastic. And yeah, next question: investment in the sport.
Thanks so
is
much as ever for your
is
time.
so
It's hugely
important, which it
appreciated.
is. Investment is so important. We need. If you haven't got good staff, then unfortunately you're not really gonna be able to get anything done, which is a bit of a shame. But it's also how life works in any other situation. So yeah, there we go. But we got quite a few upgrades towards our chassis, not our chassis, and aerodynamics departments. We got one upgrade for the chassis. We do actually have enough money to be able to get an upgrade for somewhere else, but I'm not really too sure where I want to get upgrade at the moment. We're currently like 4th or 5th worst team. But here, yeah, I was checking which department we are the worst in. It's either, well, we're 3rd worst in chassis, so that's probably where we're going to go and upgrade. It's going to be the build time which we upgrade, which is going to help us help the car get the parts on the car quicker. But going into practice, we do need some decent amount of resource points for this, because we got Spain, which is more of a, I would say, more of a downforce circuit, and then we've got Monaco, which is chassis, but it's not really any. It doesn't depend what you have really, because if you go into Monaco and you get pole position, you pretty much, unless you go through, unless you go in the pits and get overtaken in the pits, you really can't lose positions in Monaco. But this is some highlights from practice. Yeah, we got side by side with one of the Renaults, and that got us taken out. But we get a pretty decent amount of resource points, 640. We got just over 1,000 resource points now, and we're nearly level 6 as our team acclaim. We're currently level 4, which is also brilliant. Nabaharu is also level 6 almost, so should come after the race. Qualifying, you get some rep, and then the race you're going to get even more, which is a bonus. Speaking of quali, I'm not too sure what happens around this track, if it's easy to overtake or not, because this is actually the first time I've ever driven the track, raced the track. So yeah, I don't know if it's easy or hard to overtake at this track. I'm guessing if you get a good run out of that final corner, second to last corner, if you get a good exit compared to whoever you're behind, if you get a good exit, you can use the DRS, the overtake mode, and then the rich mix to plough past, and slipstream obviously. You could use that to get past your the person you're overtaking. Pretty simple, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, as we've got 1,000 resource points, we are thinking of getting another upgrade put onto the car. I was thinking about doing durability, as we are the worst. Look at that, we're so bad for durability. Well, we are really bad. How is Alfa Romeo the best? That is a bit of a shambles, but we are going to get a durability for the engine. I'm not sure what part that was, but yeah, that is a new part on the car. But qualifying for the, well, I was going to say the Dutch, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say the Netherlands Grand Prix, but it's the Dutch Grand Prix. Qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix is underway now, and we hopefully after a good showing in the last race, our last qualifying wasn't that good, but qualifying, it's hit or miss for us at the moment, but hopefully we are aiming for a Q2 appearance. We go P5 for our first lap time, end of Q1, we come out to the line, just go on to our first lap. There we go, we're on to the start lap. We were already down, we had a bad exit out of the first, the last couple of corners before the lap started. End of the first sector, we're up by a couple of tenths. End of the second sector though, we're up by half a second. This is a brilliant lap compared to our first lap time. Around the final corner, up to the line, we're over half a second faster. We're currently P15, we go P10. That is a very good lap time. That's us to the Q2. So that things are improving compared to China. That's fantastic. This track probably suits our car a lot more as we have more aerodynamic upgrades also. So that is, yeah, that is also something you can look at, that we have more aerodynamic upgrades than anywhere else. And China it's pretty big aerodynamics, but it's also chassis. You kind of need a good chassis, especially out of the final couple of corners, like the snail section right at the end. That is a very important place to get a good place into. But Q2, we only have one set of tyres because we use two sets in Q1. So we're going up to the start our lap time. We go through turn 1. Bit of a late apex there, but we still didn't even hit the apex. We go a little bit wide onto the curb, clipping the curb there. That rotates the car a little bit and it makes the car follow that line. This one you can get on the power a lot earlier than it seems. A lot of camber, and now the fast little twisty section, cut the corner there over the curb. This bit's a bit tricky. You need to, we missed the apex a little bit there, but it's all fine. We didn't lose too much time. We lost probably about half a tenth there. End of the first sector, we're up by, we're in a pretty good time for that. Now we've got this is a definite late apex. We still didn't hit the apex. Once again, we're not hitting our apexes this lap. I just seem like I'm repeating myself all the time. DRS straight, hard braking, down into third gear, clip the curb. You want it to be taking a bit more curb than that, because the curb does send you a little bit wide. If you don't take enough, you go a little bit wide, and then you have a shorter run for the left-hander hairpin. Penultimate corner is basically the last corner, because the other one isn't really there's not really any braking. Out to the line, we set a 111. What position do we get into? It's going to be P11. I will take that. If you're not first or you're not in the top 5, P11 is a very good place to be, because you get a free choice of tyres, so you'll have a completely new set, and you'll also be you should be faster than some of the people in the top 10. But myself, Daniel Ricciardo, Daniel Kvyat, Esteban Ocon, my teammate got P15. That was a fantastic showing from him, and Roman Grosjean, all the eliminations from Q2. So that's a bit of a shame, but we got a team effort out of Q1, so that goes to show this is a good track for our team. So that is a very good news. We're now level 6 as a team acclaim. By the looks of it, Matsushita is also level 6, but it didn't actually up his level, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, good qualifying session. I think that's our best qualifying session of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? I can't remember. What happened to, I can't actually remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a very, very good showing for the session. So hopefully we can carry this pace into the race, and hopefully we can get a top 10 position, top 10 finish once again. But speaking of the race, let's hand you over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. And watch out for cars making use of the DRS zone into turn 1 to try and overtake. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. I want to ask you about Nobuharu Matsushita. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be, it's about effective damage limitation.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Albon, Sainz, Norris, Perez and Lance Stroll. The owner driver, Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon and Grosjean, Magnussen, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Latifi, Kvyat, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Matsushita and George Russell ends our grid lineup. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Here we are on the grid ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix. This is going to be a very, very exciting start. New experience for me as well, because I haven't actually, like I said earlier, I haven't actually driven around this track. It's going to be a one-stop strategy, which is pretty much how every race goes, to be fair, unless it's a really, really high tyre wear circuit, like China, Azerbaijan's quite high, Singapore, that's a pain in the ass, that is awful for tyres. But yeah, P11, I'm pretty sure there was no penalties. But the two Force Indies ahead of us, racing points, just up ahead. We should hopefully be able to hold on to our position for the first couple of laps, as the AI are pretty slow, to be fair. We might be able to gain some positions through the first couple of corners, which is always what you want to be doing. Throughout the race, we should have enough race pace to be able to hold most of the cars behind us. Definitely the Williams, the Alphas. Renault's only real team behind us that's probably going to cause us any trouble. McLaren, I think there's only one McLaren behind us, but that should be able to stay behind us. We've got 5 lights on the Dutch Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. I've had a pretty decent start. Charles Leclerc has an awful start. He's only been jumped by both the Red Bulls. We've also jumped one of the McLarens. Lance Stroll is that. Yeah, it's Lance Stroll going up the inside of Carlos Sainz. It was Lando Norris that we got the jump on. We go a little bit wide through the exit of turn 1. Lando Norris gets back up our inside. Into turn 2. Round is outside, but onto the curve again. We're going to the inside line for this cambered left-hander, and we managed to push him out wide, and we've got back into P10. So we've gained a position off the line on Lando Norris. Stroll has managed to be passed by Sainz again, so that was a good racing from the AI on that part. But lap 1 going on to lap 2, we've got the slipstream, we've got overtake mode. In the background, one of the McLarens and one of the Hasses are racing up the inside into turn 1. We're up into P9 as we managed to pass Lance Stroll. We've blocked him off there. We cut across him on the exit just so he could get the run on us heading into turn 3, which is the next major braking zone. So up into P9, we've got Carlos Sainz ahead of us and Sergio Perez. But look at the pace of the AI, the McLaren and the Force India of us. The racing points, sorry, yeah, a little bit further. But there's yellow flags there because of a Red Bull losing his rear end. So that's not really that much of a deal I don't know why the yellow flags got brought out for that, but that's a bit stupid. But Nicholas Latifi on lap 8 is out, and that's brought a safety car out. That's our third safety car, I want to say, of the season. So that's brought a safety car out for lap 8. I think it was around our pit window anyway, so we're going to stop in the pits. Pretty much every team is. Look at that. One team isn't. Haas, I think it's Haas, didn't pit, but we're getting held up by one of the cars. It was Sainz, I want to say. Oh yeah, I think it was Carlos Sainz, who's gone onto the soft tyres, so he's definitely going to have to stop again because he started on them, I'm pretty sure. But out of the exit, we've come out in P10, so we actually haven't lost that many positions. I think we might have actually gained some, because I know Ocon didn't stop, and there must be other cars that didn't stop under the safety car, because there's no way we've only lost one position. There's no way in how that's happened, but this is the view from Lewis Hamilton, who's currently leading from his teammate, and then I think that's Max Verstappen in his home Grand Prix, so the fans will be delighted. But the safety car lights have gone out. We're going racing on here on lap 10. Can we get a good exit out of the final corner? Look at the run. We've got Carlos Sainz prepared to be racing. We're going now. We're going green, heading to turn 1. We're going to use the slipstream overtake mode into turn 1. Later on the brakes, maybe on the inside of Charles Leclerc as well, trying not to take out Ocon as we do it. And we're up in P8. Good restart from the safety car, getting 2 positions there, and we are back up in some decent points for our team. Lap 11, we got Charles Leclerc still behind us on the soft tyres. So we got a Ferrari car behind us, and he's on soft tyres. That is an absolutely nightmare of a situation. But we actually managed to hold him off. We did squeeze him out massively, but now Ocon's tyres. He started on the mediums in his defence. That's why he went long and then put under the safety car. But his tyres are now dying. Here on lap 12, we're going to go round the outside into turn 1. Lovely move, may I just say so myself. And we're up into P6 now as Perez actually stops. I was going to say P7, but Perez is coming for his pit stop. And yeah, so is Vettel and Albon. So we're up into P4 now. Make that P3, make that P4 as Vettel gets past us on the faster tyres and the faster car. We're going to hold around his outside though. Can we do it? No, we can't. He's just managed to get the grip on us. And yeah, I will happily let him take that position. We're not really fighting the Ferraris, even though that is not something I'll be saying in the 5th race of this career mode. Through turn 1 though, on lap 22, we get too much on the curb, we get too greedy on the curb, and yeah, we lose the rear end and lose the position to Alex Albon. This is the offboard of what happened. There you go, sideways through the exit of turn 1, bad exit, bad momentum, and Alex Albon managed to just swipe past me. Lap 24 though, we have got Lewis Hamilton right behind us. That car is an absolute beast since the patch that came out and upgraded their power. He doesn't even need like a braking zone. He just goes straight past us on power, and us drop down to P6. Lap 29 as we go on to lap 29. Leclerc now passes us down the start-finish straight, and so that means we've dropped down to P7. We're still in very, very decent points. I will happily take this amount of points. We've got 7 laps to hold on as well. Actually, no, we haven't. We've got 8 laps to hold on as we get told by our engineer that our turbocharger is on its last legs, which is a bit of a shame. But Valtteri Bottas, he wins the Dutch Grand Prix, the first of the return to the season. Is that Max Verstappen in 2nd place? I think it is. Oh, that is a fantastic result for the Dutch driver. That is absolutely amazing. But we're going to come up to the line for P7. Oh, that is a very, very good result. I'm so happy with that. Oh, get in. That is some decent points there. Antonio Giovinazzi once again gets driver of the day. He just seems to get him all the bloody time. I don't know what he's doing. He has a shit quality, and then he somehow managed to pull it back in the race, which is good for him and good for Alfa Romeo. But yeah, not good for teams like me who are trying, we're trying to get as high up the grid as possible, get as many sponsors on board, get as much money in. Because season 1's just like a tester season to see how we do and to see
amongst the Mercedes team.
Just see what happens and if anything does or any point is a bonus. I wasn't going into this season expecting any points, to be fair, until the second half. Like Italy, Singapore, Russia, Japan. That end of the season, I wasn't really expecting any points there, or us to be even competitive in the midfield. I thought it was going to be fighting
So then,
with Williams
it's time to see how
pretty
this
much
result
the
affects
whole
the Drivers'
time.
Championship. It
But
wasn't the
Valtteri
best
Bottas win,
weekend
Max
for our
Verstappen second,
championship leader,
Sebastian
and their
Vettel was
advantage
third,
at the top has
and Lewis
been
Hamilton was
reduced.
fourth. Albon
After
was
an incredible
fifth.
day of racing, who was
I
your
wanna say, I
driver
don't
of the
know.
day, Ant?
But
That's
those
gotta be the flying
decent
vid.
amount of points
Wait,
has put us
how
ahead
many
of
flying
Carlos
vids have we
Sainz,
had now?
as well as
Anyway,
Perez has
talking about
overtaken
Bottas this
Pierre
time.
Gasly there
Just great raw
for
speed. And a good
P10.
job
Our
in traffic
teammate
as well.
It's time to check
Isn't that-
out the
isn't actually
constructors'
last?
standings.
He is
No
second
change in
last
the
to
top spot,
Nicholas
but with
Latifi.
today's points,
Those
their
points
hold on the
also
lead is getting
for our
weaker.
team
Meanwhile,
has
good
moved
work
us
from the owner
ahead
drivers'
of
team
Renault
this
by
weekend,
1 point, and
who
all the
pushed
points have come from me.
themselves further up the order.
Renault have had 2 drivers
Well,
getting
an
their
end to
points.
another fantastic
We've had
weekend of
1,
racing.
and it's
Thanks
been
to
me.
everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I'm not saying I'm carrying, but I'm bloody carrying this team. Bit of a shock, but yeah, Albon was 5th, Leclerc was 6th, I was 7th, Perez was 8th, I want to say. 9th was Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon was 10th, and yeah, our teammate was last on the road. Bit of a shame, he needs to put his finger out. But now we have an interview with Claire, which is always what you want to be doing, and it's to the party to get the points. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Aero package, yeah. It is a very, very good package, may I just say. For what we have, the resources we have, the aerodynamics on our car, it's absolutely world class. I think it's like the 5th best on the grid, which is fucking fantastic. That is amazing, amazing, amazing.
Appreciate your time.
We've only done like a 5 upgrades, I think, or something like that. I don't know how many upgrades we've done, but I'm telling you now, it's hardly any. We're currently beating our rival by 4 points, who is Giovinazzi, the driver that always gets driver of the day. It's always him. There you go. Matsushita has now leveled up to level 6. So earlier when I was saying he is level 6, he was very, very close. It was just so small that we couldn't see it. We get 317.5k for doing our for completing both of our objectives for
This week's
our
income from the sponsors has cleared.
for our
We're
team.
making good profit
But
against
yeah.
their running costs.
That's going to be the end of the Dutch Grand Prix. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We've got Spain next, which, with our aerodynamic package, like I said earlier, is a pretty good aerodynamic track. I think we could be in for some decent points. Maybe a top 5 if we're very, very lucky with retirements. Podium is definitely not on the card. If we get a podium, only time I think we'll get a podium this season is Monaco, because you can pretty much cheat the system because the AI are a bit stupid when it comes to pit strategy there. But yeah, that should be a decent track for us. So I hope you guys do join me for that. Yeah, that should be a very, very good run. But anyway, I've been Stitch Gaming. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.